Rock is driving the, as we come around here. Oh, can't see it, go figure. But Rock's going to be starting on second on the outside, and then first is going to be SRD Shredder. And Jesus Christ, we are having some technical issues on my end. The ticker is blinking in and out for me. I don't know if it's doing that for you guys. But we're going to put that aside, not worry about it. We're going to get going green here at Daytona. Hang down out of the tri-oval. Two lines are going to be even for now. The big test is going to be if the outside lane can keep it all together and keep a good bunch of momentum on the outside going through turns 1 and 2. And Dino Prime 77 got sideways farther back there. But right now, battle for lead is pretty much gone in SRD Shredder's favor. It's Rock1cr0us and Drift King fighting tooth and nail for a second position. That gold number 10 holding first without issue with a Ford pushing him. So it's Chevy and Ford on the inside, and then Chevy and Toyota on the outside. Drift King is falling back now to a battle for fourth, and it seems like the top three has already gone single file here at Daytona. At the back of the field, it seems like we had some issues getting going for some of these guys. They just kind of dropped off the back of the pack. Clutch Kick Yeezy did not get going well, and it looks like along just in front of him is X-Big Country X. Despite having a good qualifying run, they're going to fall back. But up at the front of the fields, we look at third place Rock1cr0us. We're already getting really, really dicey up here. Ferrari Boss has cut his way up into second. He's on the outside of SRD Shredder. They're going to get right up next to each other, tandem drafting as they head into turn number 1. That inside line has a little bit more of a push. Lud1cr0us Sp's going to make a move, and there goes Rock around by himself. He's going to collect Keto Maximus. He's going to collect Slam 6. Those three drivers look to be the only ones involved. And that will more than likely bring the yellow out. And you saw it here, folks. Lud1cr0us Speed drifted up the track a little bit, heading into turn 3. There wasn't much room to go. Rock got hit. It turned him into the guy who was running beside, and then he went right into the outside lane. So a big, harsh oof from our leader, Lud1cr0us Speed. As the field gathers back up, unlike on the road courses, here every oval double file restarts, and there's probably going to be a little bit of a confusion to figure out who actually was second at the time of the yellow. But it looks like they're probably going to give it to Drift King, as he's going to start second on the outside. So it's going to be Ford's, the blue oval, leading at the start. So it looks like the field's already all gathered back up. So it's going to be a very, very short lap of yellow. We're going to go green once again here. Again, fueling tires only. Don't have to worry about sim damage. Don't have to worry about a whole lot of parts on the track or anything. So caution laps here will go by very, very quickly. Hopefully that's not compensated by a bunch of yellows. If we've already had our first accident of the day, everyone's doubled up. Well, almost everyone is doubled up. Rock1cr0us should be on the outside. I imagine he'll figure it out. He should be on the outside of the 7th row, but due to the way the banking is, it's kind of hard to be perfectly lined up until you get onto front stretch here. We're gonna follow our third place man, Ferrari Boss 237. As he'll get a good idea. That will give us a good idea as to how well the outside lane is gonna hold up as we come to our first restart of the day. Right on the rear bumper of SRD Shredder. In fact, he's so much on the rear bumper, he's going to go to the inside. Shredder's going to push him low. Nothing really gets made of it. You're not allowed to go below a yellow line. That is out of bounds as we're now in the loading screen. Everyone's still together. We're looking at 3 wide farther back there. But Slam 6 has dropped out, so he only made it 2 laps in qualifying, only 5 laps here in the clash. So Slam 6 is our first dropout of the day as internet and engine issues force him to retire early. But we are really, really looking at a packed up group from 3rd to 8th right now. They're running 2, almost 3 wide back there. Ferrari Boss has settled in very comfortably though in the 2nd position as we follow TTJ now in that number 78 Toyota. He's on the outside behind the number 18 Toyota. They're trying to make that outside line work here. Oh, SRD Shredder slides way high up on corner exit. And Lud1cr0us Speed seems to be looking to make it 3 wide farther up there. He backs out of it wisely before they get to the straightaway. Zdeno hits the outside wall, and Dino Maximus is going to get involved. TTJ is going to get involved. X-Big Country is going to get involved. A multi-car pileup. It started when Zdeno got into the outside wall, and TJ did not have the ability or the time or the distance to back out, and it caused a multi-car stack up here. So we got a few good laps of racing going, and it looks like Ferrari Boss 237 has gone around on his own accord for some other reason. Everyone's trying to race to get back up to the field. I'm not 100% sure what happened, though. It looks like SRD Shredder also may have had something happen to him, as he's in 3rd right now. Now, if the yellow flag was dropped before the incident with the leaders happened, the leaders will be allowed to get their spots back. Everyone's beginning to double up once more, but what appears to be 2 separate incidents here has brought out the yellow flag. For some reason, SRD Shredder has slid off the circuit. I'm not sure if he's being sent to the back, or if it's just a little bit of an issue he's experiencing. He may be getting sent to the back. Nope, he's coming back. There may have been a technical issue that was keeping him from holding the lead for that time there, but almost everyone else has gathered back up. We're still waiting on TTJ to gather, and now he has come to the back of the field once more. So this time we'll follow Drift King 5338. He's going to be the driver starting 3rd this time, and we'll see if he's going to be able to make anything work here. As they come down, take the green flag once again. 2nd restart of the day. We're underway once again here at Daytona. Ferrari Boss did not... That outside line is going, but it's a little bit slow. And Dino Prime is pushing Ferrari Boss on the outside. That 92 has his nose in front. If he can keep it there, he might be able to take the lead going down the back straightaway. They're going to be looking 3 wide, and already they're around. Multi-car incident in the back of the field back there. A multi-car incident. It looked like 2 drivers tried making it 3 wide, not realizing that there was already someone on the outside of both of them. So another large multi-car incident in the back of the field. Normally I'd be a lot more excited, but I'm honestly trying to preserve my voice because I know as this race gets on, people are going to be getting a lot more crazy and ludicrous with their moves as everyone's trying to gather back up once more for another restart. And they did go again. I thought the field wasn't gathered up, but they're going to go back underway again, and they're already going 3 wide, and that's X-Big Country who goes into the outside wall there. Country's got it back the right point in the right direction now. TTJ is going to look to his inside. The 2 of them are having a little bit of a scrap there in the back. But we do have a massive scramble going on right now. SRD Shredder did not get going. It's Drift King to the front, and his old car is pushing him on the outside. That inside line seems to have deteriorated for the moment. They're 3 wide for a lead. 3 wide out on the outside. Now Dampire's going to try to make it 4 wide coming out of this trial, coming into the tri-oval. Hey, into the tri-oval. There are still 3 wide for a top, but Shredder is going to come out on top for the moment. There's 3 wide still looking behind. It's getting really, really hard to follow everything. There's so much going on. Drift King's got to run wide, and everyone's going to follow back in single file on the inside line, but there is definitely some moves being made. At the outside line had a little bit more stability. They probably would have been able to get by our pole setter. SRD Shredder, despite being a driver who doesn't like running on ovals, has led all of our laps thus far. And it looks like Drift King is falling off the back of this pack. And we're looking at people possibly making another look to the outside. As Ballers, who started 2nd to last, he's now found his way working up to 3rd. And he has Spectra Bomb in 4th, pushing him on the outside. He's side by side with Dino right now. Ferrari Boss 237 is back there in 5th. if he this may depend on what line he goes with, and Ballers has been held out to dry by the looks of it. He's got a good run on the straight, but he's gonna need someone to get up there beside him if he's gonna want a chance at holding the second spot. No one is working with him at the moment. Shredder bounces off the double yellow line. It's gonna bring the field up to him, but Ballers gets lost on the high side, and he ends up falling back to third. There was just enough of a gap for him to fall in line. Everyone's single file now. Not quite. A little bit farther back in the field, we have a little war going on in this little pack back here. About 6 drivers trying to pull off 2 lines of 3 cars each. Lud1cr0us Speed and Big Country are the ones really side by side at the moment. That outside line is going to get a wonderful run down the straight, but Clutch Kick Yeezy is going to come up, slide in front. He's going to stall the momentum on the outside line. Rockmar is going to look to the inside. Lud1cr0us Speed gets hung out to dry. Clutch Kick Yeezy also gets hung out to dry. TTJ is going to try and force his way in there, and it's still two lines, 3 deep, but the drivers in those lines have now swapped a bit. Gino Maximus is on the outside there. He's going to look to the outside really wide. TTJ is going to look to the inside of him. They're still too wide for everywhere except for the top 2 spots. The front 2 seem to have got things somewhat worked out. Spectre Bomb has pulled off the circuit for some reason or another, so he's not going to factor into this for a while now. He's already 2 laps down. He's well off the circuit, so it's not likely that he's going to end up affecting the race in terms of being in the way, but right now we're going to go ahead and look to the front right now, and everyone's in a nice 5-car train at the moment. Dino Prime has worked his way up into second despite being involved in one of the incidents early on. We're now under a nice long green flag run here at Daytona. 14 laps in, so roughly about a fifth of the way through the race once they cross the start-finish line. We're looking at 2-stop strategy for today's event. A pit fuel tank will last you roughly between 25 and 28 laps here under full green conditions. We've had a bunch of yellow flag laps early on. Excuse me, a yellow flag lap here is worth about half of a green flag lap. So they may be able to push it to like lap 30, 31. But this train of 5 is now beginning to break into a train of 3 as both Drift King and Ferrari Boss are both slowly dropping off the back of the field right now. Shredder's running the high lane on the exit here. The high line is, unlike in typical NASCAR with these cars the way they're set up, the high line is not the fastest line unless you have a lot of drafting help. The low line is the fastest. Ballers gets right on the rear bumper of Dino there. The gap between first and second is only a tenth of a second, but right now it looks like that 77 is biding his time. Looking a little bit farther back in the field now. A little train of 4 cars. About 4 cars from about 6th to 9th. They're all very well organized at the moment. Big Country, Rockmar, TTJ, and Lud1cr0us Speed, and then behind them, Gino Maximus and Clutch Kick Yeezy have both dropped off the back of the field, and then farther even behind them, Zdeno, NX1CS, he's 5 seconds off the back of Clutch Kick Yeezy. These 3 definitely will want a yellow flag in order to try and compete for the victory here. Spectre Bomb is now 5 laps down. So we're going to go ahead and round off our 3rd place driver, Baller Z34, for about the for about the next lap and a half here. Really give you an idea as to what it's like running here. These are the telemetry that he has in the car right now with him. And that's 2 laps around Daytona with Baller's Z34. He tried pushing Dino by Shredder, and that's now turned around. It's now Baller's trying to... He's fallen to 4th now for the moment. I think he may stay there for a little bit. And you can see that train of 4 cars behind them much better organized. And the fact that they are so much better organized will work in their favor. Actually, I take that back. It doesn't look like they're as well organized now. Well, it looked like Rock was going to make a move on Big Country. He dives below the yellow line. You are allowed to put your car below the yellow line, not to defend, and you're not allowed to go below the yellow line to try and make up time or position. But you are allowed to peek down there, get some air under the nose of the car, just try to get alternate view of the track. Sometimes it's just what you need. But it looks like a battle is still trying to really take shape up here. In fact, there we are. Drift King is trying to push his teammate Dino Prime around Shredder on the outside. As these guys keep battling, it will bring that 4-car train that's behind them up to them. On that outside, those two Rebel Racing cars try and make it work. And Dino gets hung out to dry. Drift King turns traitor and jumps to the inside with Ballers. Ballers now gets to the inside. Ballers is going to get to the inside of SRD Shredder. Neck and neck for a lead. Dino is now going to have to work with the guy he was trying to pass this a second ago. He's not going to. He's going to go on the outside all by himself. Ballers has the preferred line of choice. Ferrari Boss wants to make it 3 wide back there for 3rd. Ballers is going to take the lead, and our first real on-track lead change has now taken place, and the top 5 are still scrambling, and as they continue to scramble, 6th through 9th are slowly closing in. SRD Shredder is now locked on the outside. He has no drafting help whatsoever, but they're not done battling there from 1st to 3rd, and there's lap traffic up ahead that they're going to come up to real quickly. Ferrari Boss gonna look to the high side of Ballers. He has help from Shredder here. Dino's gonna keep pushing Ballers on the inside, and Dino Maximus is on the outside. So lap traffic is gonna factor in. No, Dino is gonna hold that high lane. He's gonna try and fall in line behind, catch the draft. And it looks like Ferrari Boss, who was on the outside, yes, he has no drafting help, so now he's gonna slowly start dropping back, probably to 5th in this little train here. And while he's on the outside, the side draft is going to slow down that entire inside line. And you can already see 4 cars, that's 6, 7, 8, and 9, they keep popping in the camera there. As this battle keeps going on here at the front, those 4 are going to keep closing. And Baller's going to look to the outside. Dino's going to have the inside, and he has Shredder pushing him now. And we're going to look for our next lead change here. Dino Prime's going to hold the inside line. Shredder is going to go with him, and now Ballers once again gets left out to dry on the outside. And that lane of 4 cars, they've caught up. Well, they're just about to catch up, I should say. They've caught Dino, and Dino's not going to play a factor in holding them up outside of a little bit of side drafting that will happen. So a train of 4 cars, obviously much better organized than this group of 5 at the front. That will really change things once they catch this little group of 5. Assuming this group of 5, if these 5 can suddenly get everything organized, they might be able to start opening the gap. Also, another thing to consider, we're on lap 25 of 71 right now. Pit stops could be coming up very shortly here, especially if people want to try and start playing strategy here. But Dino Prime 77 has now taken our race lead. And right behind him is SRD Shredder. Baller Z34, he led a little bit, but now he's back in the 4th position. And the gap between 5th and 6th, 1 second exactly. And they're battling once again. Now they're trying to have a little bit of fight going on for 2nd there. Shredder gets off the bumper of Dino. Baller's going to go to the high side. Drift King's going to go to the high side. So a full-on battle, and I think this may be enough to enable Big Country to drag that group of 4 cars up to this lead battle. Well, no, never mind. They got that settled really fast, but they're there. Looking at the high side once again, Drift King really feels racy right now. He must not be worried about adding another 4 cars to this battle. As we look on the scoreboard, Country is now just 0.8 of a second out. Also, big credit to Tactical Fallout, who helps make the cars and build the cars for this series. The build here at Daytona, under normal Forza circumstances, typically a line of 4 or 5 cars, the back drivers will slowly drop off. We've not seen that happening here. Lines of 4 and 5 cars, everyone's been able to stick together without too much of an issue. Spectre Bomb is now 16 laps down, so he's pulled off the track. I'd be curious if they'll allow him to make his laps up if we have a yellow flag, but this is also our longest green flag stint we've had thus far today. And again, Drift King just peeks to the outside, not really trying to make a move, but he looks there. It looks like Ferrari Boss is dropping off the back of this field just a little bit. Big Country is now 9/10 off the back of Ferrari Boss. This front group has settled down a little bit now. But this group of 5 seems to really kind of shuffle all over the place on corner exit, and that breaks up their draft and it breaks up their cohesion. That's why Ferrari Boss is dropping off, and that's one of the reasons why Big Country is staying at about 9/10 behind, because that group of 4 farther back, very, very well organized. You can actually see them now very consistently on the camera shots. Ballers seems to be dropping off the back, but even there, that group of 4 back there, they even seem to be splitting up just a bit. Everyone might be trying to pair up, buddy up, so that way they can prepare for green flag pit stops. Under the green flag, there are no requirements as to how much you have to slow down. Just throw that car into the pit lane as fast as you can. But the top 9 in a 14-car field, the top 4 all within about 4/10 of each other. The top 8 all within about a second and a half of each other. And you can see the entire top 9 on the track at the same time. And Clutch Kick Joey has dropped out of the race. Sorry, not Joey. Clutch Kick Jeezy has dropped out of the race. He will be our second DNF of the day, along with Slam 6. Not really sure what happened to him. As we continue around here, green flag pit stop should begin any second now. That group of 4 back there is organized once more, but it seems like, and here we are, green flag pit stops are now beginning, underway here, and our entire top 5, I believe, yes, all top 9, and Lud1cr0us got a little sideways coming into the pits, but our top 9 are all going to pit at the same time. So that means our new leader, right now is Baller Z34. He has the farthest ahead spot on the pit lane. Here comes everyone. Oh, Shredder gets into Ballers, and there's a stack up on pit lane. Okay. That's not expected, but okay. That's going to significantly alter the order for everybody. Oh, and Spectre Bomb is back on the track, and he's working with Zdeno, and those two are way faster than everyone else. Zdeno's going to be flying up the field. He has yet to pit, but this might work out well. He's gathered so much time, and he's continuing to gather time on the outside there. Zdeno's all the way up into second by virtue of just not pitting, and it's SRD Shredder who takes the lead once more, but he does not have any drafting help. I'll be curious to see how long it will be until... Oh, and there he is. He's going to pit now. So second place is now going to go ahead and pit. And SRD Shredder is going to be in a very, very precarious scenario. He does have a little bit of drafting help there from the second place car, Spectre Bomb. And Drift King doesn't, but if everyone's second on back and get lined up, they might be able to gather up and run the field back up to Shredder. But Shredder re-inherits the lead after some weird Forza fuckery at the pits, in the pit lane. We're still under green. We've only had 3 yellow flags, all very early in the event. Drift King's closing in on this little battle, and Spectre Bomb's going to be the real key to this. Spectre Bomb is 19 laps down. He needs a yellow flag if he wants an opportunity to make up any of those laps, really. He seems to be very content to run behind Shredder for the moment. Drift King's caught this little group, but he's not really in a position to do anything at the moment. Dino Prime is in fourth, and he's leading this own little pack of cars that's slowly beginning to form and take shape. It looks like they're going to try and pick up the Baller Z34 here. It's going to be a nice, steady line. And if that little group of three up ahead falls apart, well, I take that back. Dino Prime does not seem to be interested in working with Ballers. Him and Rockmar are going to look to the outside. It doesn't seem like this group is very well organized. That's going to allow Shredder, Spectre, and Drift King to start walking away a little bit. And it looks like Spectre may have gone ahead and let Drift King get past him. So now Drift King is right on the rear bumper. And now here's Rock. He's slam drafting with Dino Prime. Or at least he's attempting to slam draft with him. Tandem drafting. Very, very efficient way to make up a lot of speed, especially on the straights. But if you don't have the car perfectly set up, it looks like Rock backed out of it before they could really commit to it going into a corner. But it looks like there's a group of about 6 cars, all single file now. We'll be interested to see if they can catch the group of 3 at the front. The gap is about 1.4 seconds between second and third. And Shredder has actually lost, regrettably turning our focus on that. It looks like Shredder has lost the top spot to Drift King. And now Shredder might be under threat from Spectre Bomb just for position on the track. So Drift King, 2-time winner of the Daytona 250, has now gone to the top spot. Excuse me. Gone to the top spot here. SRD Shredder is going to look to the outside, but he doesn't really have any drafting help for the moment. Spectre Bomb seems really content with running that inside and just hanging with. He doesn't seem to want to directly contribute, and Shredder is going to snooker Drift King. They're going to be side by side for a lead, and at the line, I think Shredder, yes, nicked him at the line. And they're going to be 3 wide now. Spectre Bomb's going to look on the outside. He wants his lap back. He's not going to push the issue, though. And as these 3 continue to battle, that group that Logan Thompson, Dino Prime 77 at number 3 is leading has pretty much caught them. This is going to be really interesting here. Is any of them going to try and come up and block them? It does not look like it. Drift King and Shredder is still battling as if the rest of the field isn't breathing down them. Dino has nowhere to go. He has nowhere to go. He's right on Shredder's rear bumper. They're all slam drafting on the inside there. And heading down in the heading down to the tri-oval. Shredder with that push from Dino Prime was enough to push him in the lead, but now we're pack racing once again, boys. Dino Prime is on the outside. He has help from it's Drift King on the outside. He has help from Rockmar. Dino Prime on the inside with SRD Shredder. And now it's split a little bit up. 2 groups of 2 at the front. Big Country's just there. And it looks like Spectre and TJ have dropped off. So Ferrari Boss is now going to try and work with Big Country to try and get him up there. He's also trying to work with Rock as well. We have 6 cars. All with a blanket can be thrown over it. Although the blanket wouldn't be very stable considering how much shuffling we're seeing on the track right now. Ferrari Boss trying to make the outside line work along with his teammate Rockmaro and Drift King. And it's another group of 3x3. Well, 2 pairs of 3. It's not quite 3x3. It doesn't seem like the outside line has quite the momentum and speed to be able to get up to SRD Shredder, and Rock bounces off the outside wall there just a bit. So Big Country is now going to settle pretty calmly into third. Drift King's still on the outside, giving him some scuffle, but with no drafting help, I don't think he's going to be able to do anything. Dino Prime still running second behind Shredder. He's got Big Country right on him, pushing him. Are they going to make a move? They don't have to worry about any large packs of cars closing in anytime soon. Lud1cr0us Sp33d is about 7 seconds off at 8th. And 8th itself is like a good 4 or 5 seconds off this battle. It looks like it's now turned to a group of 4. And another group of 4 is beginning to form farther back. With Spectre Bomb, although he's not right there with the leaders, it looks like he's still playing a factor. Despite the fact he's left down, Shredder goes below the yellow line for a second. I'm not sure what happened there, but Dino's going to look to the outside with Big Country. Country's now going to give up. He's going to duck to the inside with Shredder. He seems to think that he can do more himself running second than try and run with Dino. And no, now he's going to go back to the outside, give Dino a little push. Drift King's on the inside. He's going to work with Shredder. So it seems like no real team loyalty between Dino and Drift King. Big Country is now going to drop to the inside, so now Dino's hung out to dry on the outside. Now Country looks back on the outside. It doesn't really seem like they're going down to, like, leave the outside after dry. It's more like they're jumping down, trying to sniff a little bit of the draft from the inside line, and then use that as a momentum to shoot to the outside and keep pushing the guy on the outside. As you see, Big Country also trying to run wide. And that group of four, well, it's quickly becoming a group of three. It looks like Spectre Bomb is dropping off there. But it's very, very quickly closing in on this battle once more. Dino Prime still right there with Drift King. Now we've got teammates together. If they keep battling like this, that 5th, 6th, 7th group will catch them very shortly here. A very, very long green flag run right now with a lot of dice on the track. Yeah, it seems like single file is the optimum way to go here. But with that said, people are very willing to pop out if they have any help or even any hope of help. Big Country now seems to be dropping off this just a little bit. And it looks like they'll be coming up on lap traffic very shortly here. Gino Maximus has gone ahead and made a pit stop. Dino Prime and Drift King working the outside lane. And it looks like the entire field, we've gathered back into roughly a 7-car group once more. Oh, a little bit of contract. Drift King's on the outside. He's going to go into the infield. Drift King rolls over 3, 4, 5, 6, easily half a dozen times. He's still rolling back there, I believe. Him and Dino made contact, and he's into the fence. Drift King is into the fence as the car comes finally back on all 4 wheels. A tremendous accident here as teammates got into it while trying to pass SRD Shredder for the lead. And Drift King got into the dirt. The car dug in and began rolling time after time after time. Came all the way up the track and ended up in the catch fence. He's back underway once more. And for drivers like Ludicrous Speed, who had dropped way off the pace, Baller Z, 34, Zadino X17, this is going to be perfect for them because now the entire field is going to be bunched back up. Excuse me. We're only 43 laps into this event, folks. I don't know if my voice will be alive. I am slowly whittling my voice away right now. But this is so intense, and I just want to cover every little bit of this. Not quite everyone's gathered up yet. We're going to hold another lap of yellow to try and get the entire field bunched up here. Excuse me. There's Drift King on the track who went for that massive rollover. He's not a stranger to big rolls. In the first season of the IESC series at Spa, he had a massive roll in the Al Rouge Rodillion complex. Also, this is perfect for Spectre Bomb and Gino Maximus. Spectre Bomb will get a chance to make up a few of his laps. And Gino Maximus should be able to take this chance to get back on the lead lap. In fact, real quickly, we're going to go ahead, see if we can find Spectra. That number 8, sadly, seems to be off the pace. Well, he's not really off the pace. He's able to hold even, but he spent a long period of time pulled off circuit. He's 17 laps down now. He's going to need a lot of yellow flags if he's going to want a serious chance at getting back on the lead lap. Gino Maximus, he was a lap down, but he's caught up to the back of the field. I'll be interested to see if they'll let Spectre Bomb just keep going on his own or if he's going to have to file in with the rest of the field. Because he will catch them. At the rate he's going, he will catch them before we go green. I anticipate pit lane will be open. But I don't believe, if you were to pit right now, you'd still have to make one more stop. Assuming you could go 27 laps, actually 27 laps, this might be perfect. If drivers were to pit now, they might be able to go to the end of the race without stopping. It'll be interesting to see if anyone goes ahead and tries to pit. And yes, a bunch of drivers are going ahead and looking to pit right away. A lot of people are going to try and pit, and we have a stack up already. All sorts of chaos. So now our new leaders are going to be Dino Prime 77. He's going to stay out. And Ferrari Boss 237, those two are going to stay out. And they have Gino Maximus in third also running with them. So these three are going to be on a radically different strategy from the rest of the field here. It's going to be interesting because all these guys from about fourth on back, they're going to be all playing it very, very close on fuel. And it's SRD Shredder who's going to be in front. If we have a yellow flag, all these drivers are guaranteed that they'll make it to the end pretty much. But if we stay green from here on out, they're all going to be very, very tight when it comes to fuel. In fact, we're going to go ahead and show you the map real quickly so you can just see the massive gap that has formed now due to some of our drivers pitting and a bunch of them, some of our drivers pitting and some of them not. Strategy games now in play. Dino Prime 77 is our leader. Rockmaro is going to push right up there underneath Shredder's rear bumper. I'll be interested to see what will happen when our leaders pit. It looks like, I'm just saying, it looks like it may have been a little bit faster for the drivers who went ahead and ducked into pit lane. They may have been able to get off pit road fast enough that they didn't lose a lot of speed. They might actually be able to be right with the leaders after they pit, or a little bit ahead of them. But again, fuel is going to be a massive issue that's right on that bubble of being able to make it if they stay green to the end. This little battle going on here. It's not really a battle. It seems like a lot of people are settling into a bit of a single file pace, just trying to make it to the end. Excuse me. It's a little bit farther up in this battle. I saw TJ, it looked like it was TJ, look a little bit to the high side. Everyone seems to be pairing off in group of twos, and our leaders have gone ahead and pitted. They're coming out now, but they have lost the lead. It looks like they might end up losing a lot more than that. We still have one driver who's out on his own on the track, leading the race. He was a lap down earlier, but Gino Maximus, all by himself, he's going to lead this lap. He'll pass the start-finish line, I believe, before the leaders. But it looks like that strategy of staying out a little longer did not work out. But Ferrari Boss and Dino Prime both have the guarantee that they will not have to worry about pit stops. And if we go green to the end, things will be very interesting. So we look back in this pack here from about 4th to 7th. Or more like 3rd to 6th now. Baller's looking to the outside of TJ. And we're going to close down the map. Everyone should have made their... That should be everyone's final stop for the event. Oh, and Ballers and TJ getting really dicey. Country's trying really hard to defend that position. The best thing these drivers can do would be to stay in single file and just try to conserve fuel for the moment. But it doesn't seem like that's too much of an interest for them right now. And there's a battle for the lead at the very front of the field, I think. Rockmaro and SRD Shredder are going at it. Rock is on the outside. He might be able to overtake Shredder with no help. Yes, he does. So Rockmaro is now going to go to the point, and he'll take the lead in today's Busch Clash. Big Country has led that little group up. They've caught SRD Shredder. Is he going to be able to do anything? He's got drafting help. It's a group of about 6 cars right now. It looks like Drift King and Lud1cr0us Speed have dropped off the back of this field just a little bit. Shredder is going to fall in line behind Big Country now. So it's now Rock, Country, Shredder. If memory serves correctly, right now Shredder is our only foreign representative in the field at the moment. He hails from the land of Britain, but he's driving this like he's known this circuit for a long time, like he was born here almost. Shredder and Country really putting the bumper to each other, and that's causing their slam drafting a little bit, not for a significant amount of time, but just enough to get a little bit of a push. That's allowing them to pull away from fourth and back. And I'm going to change the intervals on the top to time behind leader now, so that we have a better idea as to how far back everyone is. Our top 6 all within a second of each other. And our 11th place driver, our last guy on the lead lap, he's 11 seconds out. But again, our 3 last place people on the track right now who aren't multiple laps down, they're all guaranteed to have enough fuel to make it to the end. All these guys here at the front, it's close. It's going to be right on the line for them. So a fuel strategy race coming to play here at Daytona. It looks like these guys don't really care about fuel. They just want to keep going at it. They seem to honestly believe or have enough confidence that they have the pace to win. And they don't have to worry about fuel. So we're seeing a lot of jostling still up here at the front. I'm honestly impressed by that. You would think they'd play it safe, all run single file until like the last 4 or 5 laps, but that's not the case. And Big Country has gone the outside. He's got help from SRD Shredder. TTJ's on the inside. He's going to work with him. And wow, that got crazy. Country got turned by Shredder there. He's back underway, but he's going to drop out of that top group. He's back underway, like I said, but he's fallen to 5th. And there's a high likelihood that he might lose that to Ballers also. And now this is, it's not perfect, but it's a little bit more than ideal for Drift King and Lud1cr0us. They're going to be able to run that outside, pick up a few extra positions here. Drift King gets by on the outside, Lud1cr0us gets by on the outside. Baller's going to fall back in line behind Country, but Country got turned. Shredder was not able to line his front bumper up to Country's bumper correctly coming out of turn 4, but he made an impressive save coming out of turn 4 there. He's not out of this race. He lost some time, but he's not out of it. He's hooked up with Ballers. But now we look back at the front, and the other guy who really lost out on that, SRD Shredder, he has the Dino working with him right now, but they've dropped off the lead. It's now 2 Raven West drivers, TTJ and Rockmaro at the front of the field. Rockmaro, who Rockmaro's a new driver. He was basically obligated to sign for the team after helping them at several occasions late last season. And then TJ, he's not won a race for them yet, but he has a few poles and a few decent showings. He's both of them looking to break out and steal the win here. Fuel's still an issue. In fact, we're going to go ahead. We're going to bring up the telemetry for fuel. And as our leader goes by the start-finish line, we're going to clock where he is on fuel, and we're going to do that for like 2 or 3 laps. And I encourage you, those of you watching at home, to do the same, to try and figure out who will be able to make it, who won't be able to make it on fuel. All these guys stopped at roughly the same time. Shredder and Zdeno are really going at it right now. So Rockmaro is at 58% at the line, 57 just a little bit past it. So we'll see where he's at after this next lap. Shredder and Zdeno really closing in fast. They're really slam drafting each other, trying to catch up to the leaders. Coming down to the tri-oval. So he was at 58, and it just took over to 57, and he's at 54 now. So he's going through about a little bit over 3% of fuel in a lap. Assuming he's using 3 1/3% a lap. 3 1/3% of his tank a lap. It's trying to run some real basic calculations here. We have 14 to go. It'll be 13 to go at the line. They should be... I think they'll make it. The way it's looking right now, I imagine these drivers will be able to make it to the end on fuel. It'll be close, but I think everyone's going to have a few, between 1 and 4% in the bag. Now, that's assuming Rock's fuel consumption is even with everyone else's. We're going to real quickly look down the line of everyone else and see what everyone else is with fuel. 49% for Rock, 49% for TJ, for Shredder, 49%, for Zdeno, 48%, but I believe that's just ticked over. 5th is Drift King, 48%. 6 is Ludicrous Speed, 48%. 7 is Ballers, fighting with Country, and it is 48%. And I imagine Country's going to be 47% as well. And then 9th is Dino Prime, 58%, full 10%. And he's working with Gino Maximus right now. Looks like Ferrari Boss has dropped off these two. So Dino and Gino are working really hard trying to see if they can close the gap a bit. Meanwhile, as we look back at our battle at the front, we take the telemetry down. Shredder and Zdeno have both dropped off our leaders a little bit here. Everyone seems to have settled into a little bit of a fuel conservation mode for the moment. And the gaps are widening up. Zdeno has a much, much better run that he's able to give Shredder than what TJ is being able to give Rock right now, and that's enabling them to stay right there with the group. There'll be 10 laps to go at the line. Going by the fuel rate, everyone's at 41% here at the front. It'll be close on fuel, but I believe they'll make it. Dino and Gino are 10 seconds off of this battle for the front. It's not really a battle. Everyone seems to be settled into single file for the moment. A little bit farther back, Drift King continues to run with ludicrous speed. They gained a little bit of time when Big Country had his little hiccup with Shredder, but it's not really been enough to really bring them in contention. And then a little bit farther back, you got Baller Z34 and Big Country working together as well. And then behind them, as we already said, Dino Prime 77 working together with Gino Maximus. The on-track battles seem to have come to a close for the moment. I imagine once we get to about 4 to 5 laps to go, the leaders are going to have to kind of throw caution to the wind. And Shredder has lost his drafting partner. I think we lost Zdeno. We lost Zdeno by the looks of it. And if that's the case, this may have just slipped out of Shredder's hands. He has no one to work with. Hard to believe that could happen, but We're going to try and talk with Zdeno here and see what happened. But this might give Drift1cr0us and Lud1cr0us Sp33d a chance to take third at least, as SRD Shredder, he has no drafting help. He's gradually dropping off the pace of the leaders. And in the broadcast booth now, we have Zdeno X17. Well, we did. It seems like he's having trouble joining right now. All right, in the broadcast booth, we have Zdeno X17, who was fighting for the lead. But Zdeno, what happened? Why did your race come to a sudden shocking end?
Goodyear tires. Goodyear tires. It blew and I nailed the wall and my engine blew too.
And well, good job on being able to pull it off the circuit real quickly. We're seeing a little bit of strategy right now. TJ has dropped off of Rock and he's gone back to pick up Shredder. So they're going to try and make a run for it at the end here. Zdeno, you had a relatively decent race. You were one of the best pushers out there for sure. Out of curiosity, do you know if you guys have enough fuel to make it to the end? You and everyone else who pitted with you.
Yes, we had plenty enough fuel to make it to the end.
Because I'm looking at the telemetry right now for your fuel consumption. You're all at 22. I think you guys are right. I think you guys will be able to make it to the end, as we're with 5 laps to go.
Yeah.
There'll be 4 to go at the line here.
4%.
Anything else you want to say
laps.
before we... Yeah. Anything else you want to say before we turn our focus back to our race here and our scramble for the win?
I just want to... I hope Shredder the best to get this win right now. I worked so hard to get him back up there. I hope he just gets it done.
All right, well, he's in third. He's working with 2 Raven West drivers who apparently might not be in the friendliest of terms with each other right now. So here on the track, once again, thanks for your input, and thanks for joining us in the booth. Sorry to see your race have to come to such an early close. Coming down to it, TTJ has a push on the outside from SRD Shredder, neck and neck for the victory here. And it looks like these guys do have enough fuel to make it to the end now. So with fuel no longer an issue by the looks of it, these 3 drivers will fight it out for the win. And if something happens to these top 3, Drift1cr0us back there in 4th is in prime position to take advantage. Rock is now fallen to 2nd, so that worked to push TJ back into the front for Shredder, but it did not give Shredder any advantage himself. These 2 may be teammates at the front, but there is no love lost. Both of them are willing to play a deal with the devil. It's kind of harsh to call Shredder the devil, but the deal with the devil to try and get by him. As they come to the start-finish line here, there will be 2 laps to go. There will be no more yellow flags in this event, so this is going to be the battle for the win here. TTJ, it's not a points-paying race, but this may be his first win in the series. He's got Rockmar there behind him. He's looking for his first win also. Again, it's not points-paying, but they're looking for it. And Shredder's trying to make it 2 out of 3 for preseason wins this year. Well, not year, this season. The first 2 preseason races were last year, but point still stands. Shredder seems to have dropped off of Rock just a little bit. Rock's hanging there, but it doesn't look like he's able to make a move at the moment. He may be saving up for a last lap dash on the back.